It's a new year and the NFT market is fucking flying. You absolutely love to see it. A lot of projects pumping right now. We're going to find out more about Memeland Captainz tomorrow. I know, Dan, you're waiting with bated breath on that one. Before we dive into everything, please like today's stream, subscribe to our channel, head to FLOLiO.com, FLOLiO.com for all of your NFT portfolio management tools for free. Nothing we say today is financial advice. Please do all of your own research with any buying and selling decisions. Dan, we're seeing some very strong volume across OpenSea. Highest day in over 2 months yesterday at 15 million on OpenSea. I would not be surprised, with the Captainz being airdropped tomorrow, if we see a new high for the last 3 to 6 months even. I think a lot of things to be excited about right now. Not sure if this is going to last, if this is a start of a bull market, or if this is just kind of a relief rally. But how are you feeling about everything?
Feeling good, and it's interesting now because I believe Blurs has enabled their 0.5% royalty, and I believe that LooksRare has also disabled rewards for trading the other side deeds. So I think that if we look at all these marketplaces and kind of gauge volume, I think it's much more accurate.
Yeah, for sure. It's we should be having there is some added liquidity from Bonk dropping. We do still have the Blur airdrop in the coming weeks. We're seeing a lot of Yuga assets pumping as we get closer to the next phase of Trial of Jimmy the Monkey. So a lot of bullish indicators right now.
Yeah.
I would love to see, and I don't know if you have this chart readily available, the number of daily active users on OpenSea. It's easy to find the monthly one. I don't know. I'm not sure. You have to share with me so I can have it handy. But the number of daily active users, if that number is trending up as well, that's a very good sign.
I can only see monthly.
Okay, we'll do some investigating. Pull that up. I know that there's a chart somewhere that has daily active users on OpenSea, so want to know a little bit more about how that's going. But if we're gonna head over to FLOLiO.com, take a look at what's been trending over the last week. A lot of floor prices have been going up. We've seen a ton of activity, not just from Yuga, but Azuki has their 1-year anniversary coming up. Beanz approached 2 ETH yesterday. They hit some resistance and have dropped back down a little bit, but not too bad. Just an opportunity to get in. I think one thing that we're just going to be seeing, that we already are, is you have some of these mental price barriers. We got Apes back at almost 20 ETH. But if we look at over the last week, Yuga near the top, but Azuki is doing very strong. Valhalla went down to 0.7. I've seen them back up to 1.2. CloneX not really doing a whole lot, but they're still seeing volume. But we're seeing a lot of these mental barriers get hit and some rejection there, the 1 ETH level, the 2 ETH level. What I think we're seeing is just people who have been holding a lot for a long time take some profit, which is natural. If you're looking at some of the charts, and we have those over on FLOLiO, you can kind of see the chart line up of when the floor price is going up and when the unique ownership count is going up. So if you're seeing, these price barriers get rejected, but you're seeing the number of active holders going up, I think that's a positive thing, because it'll just take some time. We've seen plenty of projects reject a certain floor multiple times, but then recover from it.
Yeah, and it's always the mental aspect as well. What do you think is the mental barrier for Bored Apes? Do you think it's 100?
I would say it's probably, I would say it's 100. I think there are a lot of people who are going to look back and be like, I can't believe I didn't sell my ape for 100 ETH, and will either list at 100 or just under it. So I think that is definitely, those huge numbers, 1 ETH is a mental barrier, is a big barrier, 5 ETH, 10 ETH, and then 100 is just very few have gotten to that point. And it took Bored Apes a couple times, I believe last year or late 2021, whenever it was they first got through, to break through that 100 ETH floor. So I think that we'll see that again. I'm guessing Azuki will approach 20 ETH in the not too distant future, and we'll have to see if they can break through that. But I want to talk about Memeland. I know that you put out a video about that has been doing very well. Kudos to you. Great video. Anyone who is wanting to learn more about Memeland, check out what Dan put up on Wednesday, I believe. But we haven't, the minting ended today. The people could submit, and that ended this morning. And then I believe it's tomorrow morning that you airdropped your captains based on how many you got. Did you go for, because you had 3 potatoes, right?
Yeah, so I overread something, or like I missed something in the like minting guide, and it's something very interesting. And this is something I have never seen before in any mint whatsoever, ever. And that is, it goes, so let's say there's 100 people that mint. So these 100 people, they all have a varying amounts of potatoes they hold, right? So let's say number 1 mints 10, number 2 mints 60, you know? So in every mint ever, it gets hardcore botted, right? Like there's really like nothing they can really do against it. And the first 2 blocks of like Ethereum transactions got botted. I think it was around 70 people, which isn't like that bad. But what made it less bad is the fact that, let's say the first 10 people minted 10 each, they all actually only get 1, because it goes from top to bottom, it gives everyone 1, and then it loops back around for the next round. Which is interesting, because that means that the most anyone could have gotten from the first come first serve is 2 captains. There is, well, 2 captains because they maybe get 1 guaranteed from owning 3 potatoes or something, and then getting 1 in the first come first serve. So I will rephrase: no one can get more than 1 in the first come first serve, which is interesting. You know, like if you have 9, you get 3 guaranteed, and then from your remaining potatoes, you can only get 1. So I did participate in the first come first serve, and I forgot that the amount of potatoes, the amount of captains that were available for the mint wasn't that large. There were around 600 remaining, I think, for first come first serve, which is not a lot, you know, because that's a lot of. There were so many captains that were reserved for meme listed people or like other collections. So that is the main point of like all the negative attention right now. That's holders who have, let's say, 1 or 2 potatoes, and they're like, yeah, I'll try to mint. You know, there's like 10,000, right? Like, surely I can just mint this and be chill. People may not have paid a lot of attention, because, like me too, I forgot that, you know, like 90% is reserved already. So I minted. I was like 2,000 something, and I had low gas, so I didn't lose anything from the mint. But so I'm pretty certain I get none other than my guaranteed 1. And now the question is, what is the secondary price going to be for the captain? Because I bought 4 more potatoes on secondary for around 2 ETH. And if you have a captain, you can create a pirate crew up to 3 potatoes, which you can. I don't think it's officially referred to as staking, but you can go on questing in the Memeland, and you get.
Do you know if it's like is it a passive kind of thing, or is it more active?
We do not know yet, but I think it's going to be. I'm inclined to say it's going to be a little bit active. Like it's going to be. I think that it's going to be something a little bit more than just stake and goodbye. But the thing is, you can also earn their upcoming token from 9gag, which is the meme coin. It's hashtag. It's $meme, and that's something I haven't seen anyone talk about much. I think that there's inherent value that 9gag is launching a meme coin. You know, because Dogecoin is a meme coin, right? And you can see how much that's being traded. Now imagine when 9gag drops their token, like there is inherent value in having that token, because there's so much possibility that's going to be traded outside of the NFT space.
Yeah, agreed. So what is your official, I'm putting you on the spot, what is your official prediction for the price of, I want 2 numbers. I want the price of the floor of captains within 1 hour of when they start getting airdropped, and then 48 hours after they get airdropped.
Okay, now you put me on the spot, because I remember when we talked about Moonbirds, and we were like, yeah, it's got to be this. And we were like, yeah, we got it. And then 1 day later, it was like, oh shit, it's 30 ETH, you know?
It's like, oh shit, we way undershot that one.
Yeah, so I talked about this in their Discord a little bit, and I mostly got flamed for saying this. So, because look, their Discord is not great. All right, it's not great. There's a lot of I wouldn't say sketchy people, but it reminds me of like new NFT people from like 1.5 years ago. Like the Moon Boys, like the oh no, it's gonna drop. What happened to the floor, guys? I think that. So before I say this, okay, I have to preface. So 3 potatoes equals 1 guaranteed captain. So then a lot of people are saying, oh well, just grab the potato floor, multiply it by 3, and you get captain's floor, right? Well, it's not that simple. It's not gonna be worth that much. It's gonna be worth less because so many people were whitelisted and they can mint it for 1 ETH and they'll happily flip it for 3 or 4 ETH. So my official guess, so 1 hour from launch, so it drops on 3 p.m. CET. I think it's going to be around 5 ETH. And then within the day, I think it's going to be around 8 ETH, respectfully, is my guess.
Okay. I'll be interested to see where that is, when we come back for our next show on Tuesday. I think, like I said, could lead to a lot of activity this weekend. I'm hoping that we get, a nice fun tradable weekend. I don't do a whole lot of degen trading anymore. I might try to, I'm probably not going to do very well at it, God willing, but I might just give it for the sake of nostalgia. Like it's been a while since we've had anything this fun and exciting. And I'm a believer in Memeland. I think they could do some really cool stuff. I'd like to be a part of it. So I got some ETH loaded up. I would love to be able to pick up. Oh God, here comes Riggs. 20 ETH floor FUD. That would be. I know Dan would be very happy with that one if it came out at a 20 ETH floor. So Dan, in the spirit of we constantly talk about taking profits. I know you're bullish on Memeland. Is there a number that if it hit, you're taking profit and you're selling your captains?
That's incredibly difficult because I have already taken profit on potatoes. I've sold around 3 in total, I think. But now it's hard because I specifically bought 6 potatoes in total, or like added up to 6 potatoes in total, to buy another captain to have 2 teams, 2 crews I can have. But fuck, man, I don't know. It's so hard for me to say if it's reaching this amount of floor, I'll sell.
If it became like you could sell one of your full crews for 35 ETH, are you pulling the trigger there? 35 ETH. That's a lot of ETH.
Yeah,
I know you just came out of Wolf Game strong with a whole bunch of money, but would 35 ETH be enough to do it for you?
I think so. Well, it's hard, right? Because like I think that it's
so you got a 20 ETH floor on captains and like 5 ETH floor on potatoes. Is that going to be enough for you to unload your crew?
It might. Yeah, I think it's gonna heavily depend on what they do. I think I'm not sure because it's such an interesting project. They take everything super serious, but at the same time, they bring this true Web3 like meme mentality, right? Like they joke around, they mess around, but the stuff that they deliver is really, really good. Like everything is really high quality. Other than the fact that they had a deal with their developer to provide captain spots for their community, which was like a lot. Like I think like 5,000 or something. Or I don't know. Actually, I might be wrong. Not 5,000, but like a high amount. And the fact that other communities are rewarded more than people from their own community is something that's a little bit, not sketchy, but not something you would really love to see. But it's hard. And one thing for the captain's reveal is I forgot the exact wording, but the artist for the captain or the captains is currently unrevealed, but they said it is the lead artist of a global manga, anime, and game franchise. And one that was popular in the 90s. So there are some that come to mind, and any of those will be extremely huge. But I'm trying to, I don't want to be too like, oh, it has to be this guy, right? Or it has to be this person. Yeah, and also this. It is also shit. We did it again, JWeb. We keep pressing everything at the same time today. Yeah, it is also a 4-part slow drip review. So you're gonna get, I think, the chest first. You're gonna get like a generic thing first. Then there's gonna be different types of chests, I believe, and that will display a bit of rarity. Then the Jolly Roger, so the flag, and then the actual captain. But yeah, I really wonder who the artist is. There's so many artists that it could be, which would be like amazing. But I'm afraid to be like, oh, it's gotta be this person, and it ends up being like some Joe Schmo made some random anime or something that no one watches. And then it's gonna be like,
I don't think it's gonna be like that.
No, yeah. The thing that got me excited is the fact that I believe 9gag is based in Hong Kong. So they do have genuine like Asian connections when it comes to like anime, manga, and video games. So I do think that they have like the high level connections that normal projects don't. Because the thing is, you know how we often call these projects like startups, right? Like we kind of compare them to beginning startups.
Yep.
9gag isn't a startup; it's a huge company, right? Like they don't need all this money, or they're not like, oh god, our war chest, no, not another bear market, we're gonna lose it, guys. Like they're fine. Like they have connections. They are a heavily established company. So, I'm looking forward, and I wonder what they're gonna bring.
Yep, I agree. I think right now is a really good opportunity for people to take some profit if they've been holding NFT projects for a long time and they're seeing some floors pump. I think a lot of it is built on speculation right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how a lot, the NFT space is in general. But I think right now you can make a very clear distinction between NFTs you're holding because you believe that the team is going to deliver something this year, and ones that you're holding because there's speculation the team might deliver something. Like the Mutant Hound collars are back up to like 1.6 something ETH because and Goblin 1.68. Goblin Town went over an ETH yesterday because Mutant Hound Collars put out a tweet where there's some artwork of them with some goblins because there's some sort of partnership there. So there's so much speculation around what might be happening and what might be coming. And if that's causing these floors to pump, I think you got to be very honest with yourself and be willing to take some profit. I still think that, I talked about it on our show yesterday with Kevin Shannon around the stock and crypto markets. There's a lot of reasons to believe that crypto is going to come back down. And even if it doesn't, just adding more ETH to your long-term holdings is never a bad idea. So we're seeing a lot of euphoria. We're seeing a lot of the same sentiment we saw last year. I think everyone was it really wants it to be a bull market again because they're just tired of seeing number go down. But if you can keep a level head at this point, remain on target with your goal of Dickenza, just sell some shit, okay? Like you don't need to hold everything. You don't need to hold it all to zero. But like the people right now who can like be level-headed are not afraid to, missing out on selling the top. Like sell on your way up. You're not going to, perfectly hit the top very often. So take some profit, wait for some pullbacks. I have my eyes on a few things that I want to see pull back before I jump into them. But I do think that is the right play right now, not financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, in general, you should. Well, I wouldn't say always look to sell. Like, not always look for profit, because there's obviously there's bad timing as well. But I mean, I can think of a time where I was like, I looked at like the broader industry, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't sell right now. Like all my sales have been primarily like losing conviction, like losing faith in the project. But it's always important to always reflect, right? Like always think to yourself, like, do I still have this conviction? Are they still doing stuff right? Because like right now, like I should be more critical of Memeland, for example, as well. Because I spent a lot of Ethanos last week, I think, and I'm still up on everything that I did. So it's funny. A week ago, before the Captainz mint, I bought 3 potatoes for 2 ETH. And then the mint happened, so I got a guaranteed captain. And now after the mint, so now currently the potatoes do not carry this guaranteed captain value anymore. and they're still above 2 ETH, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, so even though I am like heavily invested, I should still reflect every day and think to myself, like, is this still, like, do I still hold this for like the right reasons?
For sure. You know, I think the current meta that we're seeing is part of it is older projects. And say older, like everything here is like a year or two at most.
Yeah.
But some of the older projects that have, you know, flown under the radar for a while are picking up some steam. We see it with Alien Friends is getting some heat. They're back to like 0.65. Pudgy Penguins is still, you know, close to 7. Little Pudgies are doing great. Sappy Seals are doing great. The Plague is another awesome one that I'm hoping continues to pull back, because I would like to add some more to my, or add some to my collection. I don't hold any. One that I think still has room to run is Moonbird Oddities. And I discussed this on a Twitter space earlier, and we brought the topic of like, there's gonna be a lot of ETH returned to people tomorrow. This time tomorrow, there's gonna be a lot of ETH back in people's MetaMasks. Most likely, you know, they're degenerates. They're not going to cash that out and go pay their bills. They're going to go buy some more NFTs. So what do you think are some of the, once again, Jesus Christ, not financial advice.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the better buys in the 1 to 3 ETH range, 1 to 2 ETH range?
Well,
and you can't say potatoes.
Well, they're currently not in the 1 to 2 range, so I couldn't say potatoes.
Well, they're in the 1 to 3 range.
Okay. Well, I currently would not advise to buy a potato. Okay. Like, in all due respect, not here to just pump my bags. I called them when they were like 1.8 or 2 or something before the Captainz mint. So I made a video not too long ago where I was talking about my top 3 plays heading into the new year, which were potatoes, Coolcats, and the other side, I think. Yeah, no, it was. And I still stand by the other side, I think. They pumped a bit in the last couple of days. And they went from like 1.3 to 1.55 or something. That's pretty like big, considering they have like 100k assets. And Coolcats went from 2.4 back to 3, and now they're back to like 2 point high something. I would say from 1 to 3 range, I would still say Coolcats. If they dip a little bit lower, I don't want to buy more at this current price yet. And the other side, if they dip more, but at this point, I don't know if they're gonna dip more. It seems because they pumped more now, and we still have everything coming in the near future, so that's gonna be a little bit tough to predict.
Yeah, there are a few that I'm definitely looking at. I still love Ranga, obviously, in that range.
Yeah,
I'm holding
also good,
a big bag of Ranga just for the sake of full transparency. So I have 10 Ranga, and I have none of them listed for sale. I believe in it long term. I think one that is kind of cooled off a bit, and I'm always a fan of waiting until things cool off, is 10KTF. More specifically, their G tag, which is like their Genesis tag, that you could you burn their Genesis items. There's probably going to be some kind of like PFP burn mechanism with those that I think we'll find out more about in the coming months and weeks. Their connection with Yuga, I think, is really important. So those are a couple. And yeah, I just think it's going to be a really fun weekend. I think we're going to see, as long as ETH doesn't do anything stupid like crash down to under 1,000, which I know Kevin Shannon here is waiting for. If they could just hold off a little bit longer to do that, that would be really appreciated, because I think that's the only thing that could spoil this weekend would be a huge negative move on crypto. Or, hey, who knows? Maybe people got cash on the side. They would just buy a bunch of ETH and just degen harder. I have no idea. Anything could happen in this market. Anyone who tells you they know exactly what's going on is full of shit. But I think, once again, it's going to be a lot of opportunities, a lot of fun, and I'm just excited to see how this all plays out tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely me as well. So why is Kevin flooding ETH now? It's so nice that it's very stable now. It's been this same price range. Well, and it means up a little bit, but it's been this range for like, I don't even know. What is it, like a month or two or something? Maybe it feels like it's longer. Just a month?
I mean, it's been ranging between like 1080 and 1350 for going on 3 months now. So we're just kind of crab walking at this point. you can go further back and it's higher up. There's just a lot. We talked about it on the show yesterday. There's a lot of things to be worried about for sure. As far as like in the near and midterm, as far as, you know, the economy in the US, we saw some negative data today, but the market is still pumping. We'll see some more data next week that could definitely impact a lot. Captainz is down here. You know, Beanz, could Coolcats get revived like Pudgy Penguins? I think it's possible. I mentioned Beanz earlier. We have the 1 year anniversary of Azuki coming up, I believe, on the 12th. So next Thursday, I want to say that's the case. So could be something exciting there. Moonbird, like I said before, Moonbird Oddities. We're going to know more about the Moonbird Mythics in, you know, I'm not sure if it's in January, just in Q1, but should be more coming from there. I know that Kevin Rose has a bit of a chip on his shoulder right now, wants to prove the haters wrong, is announcing something at the Consumer Electronic Showcase in Vegas this weekend. So could be some fun stuff coming out from that. But yeah, I think there's you know, really narrowing your focus on who's delivering something in 2023. One that is, I can't believe we're able to even say it's in this range, is everything in the Gutter Cat ecosystem. Gutter Cats are down to 2.16. So, I mean, they're less than potatoes at this point. That's really wild. And the other species, I'm sure, are not doing fantastic. Let's see here. We got rats at 0.35. Dogs are holding 0.5. So you could get almost a full Gutter Cat set for what the price of one captain is most likely going to be, which is really wild.
Yeah,
I'm hoping they can deliver something and they can reignite their floor, because they've fallen a long way, but I'm not super confident at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing really to add or to say. I don't know much about their ecosystem. I mean, all I know is everything that you've told, and I know you sold quite some time ago, and you must be feeling pretty happy about that. I think you definitely dodged the bullet.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy I sold when I did. You know, we're seeing I've made some good sales, some not so good sales. You know, I'm happy I sold Azuki when I did, just for the reason of not wanting to support Zagabond, but holding on to those now would still be really, really, really good. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of action tomorrow. I think we're going to break, you know, 20 million in OpenSea volume tomorrow. We'll see what Blur is looking like. We should be getting the Blur airdrop later in January. So still a lot of, you know, harvesting rewards going on over there. So I don't know how much you can really trust those numbers, but we'll be back at it on Tuesday. I had nothing else to touch on. I don't know if you have anything else you want to discuss, but I think we covered pretty much, you know, all the hot stuff in the market at the moment.
Yeah, I'll say one last thing, and that's just to answer Dickenza's in regards to Coolcats. The main thing why I think, or like the main reason why I think that Coolcats might do well in this quarter, or maybe next quarter, is that this is the first year that their new CEO can finally do his thing, right? And we've already seen that I think it was like the first week or the first 2 weeks that the CEO was there, he already fired a bunch of people. And I don't know the explanation behind it, but I just assumed that he sat there, he looked at the numbers, he looked at what everyone's doing, and he was like, you know, this, like, some stuff got to change. And I'm just looking forward to see what he can actually do. I think he had like 20 years of experience dealing with like brand management or something, or like IP at Disney. So there's definitely like the man that you want behind the wheel. So in this year, I'm just curious to see what he's gonna do, like what is gonna happen, what is gonna change moving forward. And at this current price, I think it's definitely worth the bet. But again, I do think that it's an idea to wait a little bit longer to see if it goes closer to 2, because it's been around 2 for such a long time, and I would expect it to around 3. But I was looking to buy more at around 2, but I unfortunately got sidetracked and I didn't pull the trigger, and now I'm kind of regretting it.
Captainz has read my mind here. I was looking at Doodles real quick because they've also seen a bit of a pump back up, a little bit more teasers coming out around duplicators, as well as the Genesis box. Genesis box has taken a little run up. It was under 0.25 earlier in the week, down to 0.22. It's at 0.35 now. So 50% increase, still under the mint price. Doodles are back to just under 8, so they've recovered pretty well. Duplicators are at 1.34 approximately. So that ecosystem's doing well. One of their founders, Poopy, which I can't believe I just had to say the name Poopy, he's been tweeting quite a bit, putting more alpha out there. So I think we could see a resurgence of Doodles. And once again, this is just the year of, it's time to deliver cool shit for your holders. Otherwise, some of these projects are going the way of the dinosaur. That's really all there is to it.
I agree. Nothing really to add. It's going to be exciting. Like, if this volume keeps up, it's going to be very interesting. Like, it's nice to see like quadruple digits again on daily volume, or because I think sometimes you look at like the number 10 or something, and it's like in the double digits, and it was kind of like depressing, right? Like, you have some projects that had a couple sales and they're immediately like top 5 like daily volume, and it's just like, damn, like, where did everyone go? Like, is it just us? Like, hello? And now it's like, there you go, like, all the money's back for some reason.
Every day this week, OpenSea volume has been at 10 million or more. So we have a long way to go from the all-time highs, but it's still very exciting to see that we are hopefully rebounding, and maybe we can break through that 20 million tomorrow. That's going to wrap it up for today. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll talk more about how the Memeland Captainz airdrop went. We'll look ahead to the next portion of the trial of Jimmy the Monkey. That's going to be coming out next Wednesday, the 18th. Next Wednesday, the 11th. So looking forward to that. More cool stuff coming from Yuga. Those floors have been pumping. Are those going to dump right before, right after? Are they going to do anything to keep floor values high? We'll see. But appreciate everybody being here. Once again, like today's show, subscribe to our channel. If you got some people who are asking about NFTs again, send them our way. We'd love to teach them a little bit. So for Kevin, no, you're not Kevin, Jesus Christ. For Daniel, for the rest of the team of FLOLiO, I'm sorry, my bad. For Daniel, for the team of FLOLiO, I am Jeremy. Thank you for coming out today, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.